Welcome back to Momentum with Markayle, everyone. I'm your host, Markayle Tolliver, where stories spark change and conversations build community. In this special podcast session today, Season 1 finale, I'm stepping behind the mic to be hosted by a powerful, dynamic journalist here in Chicago, Nate Rodgers. Momentum with Markayle isn't just a podcast. It's a platform for amplifying voices, unpacking systematic challenges, and celebrating the brilliance of everyday changemakers. Whether we're diving into housing equity in Chicago, exploring pathways to Black youth and Black home ownership, or spotlighting youth, this space is about movement. Forward together, momentum moving forward. So lean in, get inspired, and thank you all for Season 1. And now, turn it over to Nate Rodgers.
Hey everybody, Nate Rodgers here. So good to be with you, Markayle. This is an opportunity, man. I'm glad that you invited me. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You nervous?
A little bit.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. We're going to break the ice a little bit, okay?
Okay.
10 questions that everybody at home wants to know to get to know Markayle. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
First question, what's your favorite color?
Favorite color is blue.
Blue.
Blue, yep.
Second question, who has the best pizza in Chicago?
Beggar's Pizza.
Beggars. Okay.
Yep, Beggars. Yep.
Third question, what is a word that you wish you would not use so much? What is something that you Well, so one of my words, I always say, that's interesting. That's interesting. So like what's a phrase that you wish you wouldn't use so much?
You stumped me with that.
Stop me. We'll come back to that.
Okay,
one.
okay.
Fourth, where'd you go to high school at?
Holy Trinity High School.
Holy Trinity.
Holy Trinity, yes.
Fifth, how old are you?
26 years old.
26 years old. Wow.
Yes.
Sixth question is where is a place that you haven't traveled to that you want to go?
Africa. The continent of Africa. Yep. I specifically want to go to Ghana.
Oh, tell me why.
One, want to see the homelands, want to see the motherlands. Also want to see how community is there, how the culture is there. Media has portrayed certain things, books and history has portrayed certain things, but I kind of want to get that view for it myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 more questions. What do you have more of at home, shoes or hats?
Shoes, for sure.
Shoes.
Shoes. I got about 36 pairs.
36 pairs of like dunks.
So it's a combination. Okay. So I have dress shoes, casual shoes, dunks, Jordans, slides, boots. So yeah, about 36 pair.
Oh, wow. Okay. If you think about civil rights, who's somebody that inspires you?
When I think about civil rights, C.T. Vivian. He's definitely a looked over name during the civil rights movement and time period. An African American who was born and raised in Macomb, Illinois, a small white town in Illinois, only about 1,500 residents, but he made an impact there in that small town. Attended high school and college there, our alma mater, which is Western Illinois University in Macomb. And so for him to have that great of an impact and change in that small town shows a lot, and also speaks volume to his work and to the work of Black people throughout the entire country.
I love it. I love that.
Yes.
Last 2 questions, I promise. New York or Chicago?
Ooh, I'm Chicago born and raised, so definitely Chi-Town.
Tell me why. If you talk about food, people, culture, why Chicago over New York?
All of that. Food, our food is good.
First of all, have you been to New York?
I haven't, so I will say.
Okay. I'm sorry. People at home, I'm sorry. Because he can't even talk about New York. You never been there. You been to D.C.?
I haven't been to D.C.
Atlanta?
I've been to Atlanta, yes.
Okay,
I've been
Chicago
to Atlanta.
or Atlanta?
Chicago still. I love Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta. I go to Atlanta almost every year. But Chicago still, the food, mild sauce, Italian bees, chips with cheese, like all of that. Like Chicago food is the best.
But what about the real estate in Atlanta? You can get some really nice property for a margin of what you would pay here in Chicago.
It's cheaper, but real estate here is definitely on the upcoming. When you think about Woodlawn, Bronzeville, North Lawndale, East Garfield Park, development is coming, and it's good development as well. Houses and homes and buildings with rooftops and dishwashers and on-site laundry. So it's definitely coming for Chicago. And then also we have Victorian homes within our city, within specific places like North Lawndale, like East Garfield, West Garfield Park. So we definitely have good infrastructure and real estate as well.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yes.
Final question in getting to know Markayle. If I gave you $1 million and you had 1 week to spend it, you could only disperse it in 3 ways. $1 million, 1 week to get rid of it in 3 different ways. How would you disperse that $1 million?
Wow. First, I'd definitely give some to my family. First, my mom, definitely give her a good stack. She's definitely been instrumental in the man that I am today. And then also give some of my other family members, my aunt, my uncle, some money. Little brother, little sisters, I'll take them out.
Yeah.
But besides family, I definitely also would give a chunk to youth organizations that I've paved a way for me. So my elementary school, Legacy Charter School, my high school, Holy Trinity, my scholarship, Lincoln Unlimited, and then also my alma mater, Western Illinois University. I would give each of them some money to help into the next generation. So if that's for another building, if that's another program, a scholarship in my name, whatever the case may be, definitely give some funds to that. And then lastly, I'll definitely give a portion to the homeless population. That's definitely a big pull on my heart, especially being in the city of Chicago. And then lastly, I definitely would, to your point of reinvesting in real estate, I definitely would buy some property both here in Chicago and across the states of U.S.
Yeah, I love it. Well, in case you all are just joining us, I'm taking over momentum with Markayle. We're spending some time just to get to know Markayle and to celebrate the end of season 1 of your podcast. Before we talk about the podcast, though, I do want to talk about just your upbringing and what all took place, good and bad, challenges. We're going to have a real conversation here that really molded you into the man that you are today. So tell me a little bit about that. 26 years old, from the West Side.
Yes, the best side.
The best side. We always talk about the West Side being the best side. When you think about the West Side today, as opposed to 10 years ago, right? So I'm in East Garfield Park.
Okay.
I moved away for a little bit of time and, to work. But I came back. Dude, I hear gunshots on my block every other day. Or, excuse me, I hear them. Now, they could be coming from 2 blocks away, but 10 years ago, that wasn't necessarily the case where I'm at in East Garfield Park. And I'm sure other communities as well. What is the neighborhood like for you now?
So currently, North Lawndale and the surrounding areas have a lot of disinvestments, from homelessness to drugs on the streets to youth being uninvited and unemployed.
But it's been that way for years.
It has. And I will say a lot of things have played a part in that, from leaders not being sufficient enough to fight for our communities.
Greed at times.
Also. I would also say the lack of jobs, the lack of support within our communities. When I think about when I was growing up, there were YMCAs, Boys and Girls Clubs, churches that had after-school programs and Saturday programs. There were things for us to do. Like, we did not have to just be outside. There were things for our hands to do. We had basketball. We had all of these other opportunities for us as youth to actually go ahead and take advantage of. Again, the lack of jobs in our communities, the lack of housing, the lack of sufficient schooling as well. When you see unhoused and abandoned buildings, that plays a part also in disadvantage and disinvestments in our neighborhood. Also the crime, as you stated, gun violence and shootings. when men are fighting over women and drugs and all these areas, it's part of that, actually coming together as a community to actually fight against these disadvantages and disinvestments within our community. I think is very important, for sure.
Do you think, though, that there's also, in some places, in many areas, resources are there, so that there needs to be conversations about how to get young people to ask for those resources, or to go to the new fine arts building that's being built, or the new mental health facility that's opening up. You got to get bodies there. What's the challenge? How do you do that?
Part of that, I will say, is the negative connotation of it, being looked at negatively for going to help and for going to go into mental health resources and food pantries and counselors and therapists. And we tend to get the negative look of, oh, you're going there, oh, you need help, or oh, it's not good. But it's needed. It's definitely needed.
Would you say the West Side is better now compared to 10 years ago in total, or worse? Be honest.
I would say
10 years.
It's better and worse in areas, in certain places, and in certain industries. The crime, I definitely will say, has gotten worse. The investments in terms of housing and youth investments and mental health has began to become on the rise due to our current administration and current leaders, which we are thankful for. But again, it's that continued push for them to continue to do that. Also for us as residents of these areas to continue to hold our politicians and leaders accountable to continue to push for that. Also, I'll see, again, like I said, better housing has come. I will say we do need to do more in terms of housing for veterans and housing for young homelessness and young parents and young people out there. But overall, I will say from 10 years ago, we are in a better place.
Wow. Well, I do want to take some time to get back to you as well and just understanding like your upbringing.
Yes.
Tell me about family. Tell me about mom, dad, grandma. Tell me about all of them.
Absolutely. So I am the eldest child on my mom's side. I have two younger siblings, a 21-year-old brother and a 14-year-old sister. So I have always been looked up to as the leader, as the role model in my mom's household. And I love my brother and sister. Remember all of our trips and all the fun times that we have had and continue to have. And it's crazy now to think about where they're at now, to think about my 21-year-old brother who's actually in electrical engineering and doing solar panel installations throughout the state of Illinois. And then I think about my 14-year-old sister who's a freshman here in Chicago in the Noble Network. To see her trajectory as well is definitely encouraging that my work have paid off and the fights and the arguments that I've had with my little brother and sister has paid off. On my father's side, I am the middle child. It's three of us as well. I have an older brother who have two sons, and then it's me, and then it's a younger sister. We're all 3 years apart on my father's side.
Okay.
And so, my big brother on my dad's side made me an uncle. I have two nephews, and then he's the only sibling of mine with children. Yes.
So if I met your dad tomorrow in the grocery store, what would he tell me about his son? Good and bad. Good and bad. What would Dad tell me about you?
Well, one, you would know that that's my dad because we look just alike. Mannerism, the way we talk, the way we stand, we definitely look just alike. Everybody say, oh, y'all are twins. And so that is definitely my twin. However, though, he will say I'm a hardworking individual. He would definitely let you know that he's proud of the work that I've accomplished, the goals that I've accomplished. I've definitely set myself and my family and siblings up for different trajectory. To be able to say that their sibling, their brother, older brother, younger brother, has helped make change, have helped build a legacy for himself and for our family. He would also say, on the bad side, that he definitely had to handle me a couple of times. He had to discipline me a couple of times when I got out of line with family members and mom and other avenues. I had to get corrected.
I'm thinking about what we were just talking about in terms of the disinvestment, but also just the how the makeup of families.
Yes.
When dad is not in the household,
right.
Even though people say it's just something that we keep talking about, it really makes a difference.
It does.
And so for you to say that, your dad disciplined you, I'm sure, that there were times where dad could have done more for you.
Yes. Yep.
How do you challenge people on just having that conversation that with dad? Because that's not easy at times, especially if you're an adult, especially if you're thinking about, certain things that may have happened in the past.
Right.
What do you, because let me share the reason why I asked that question. I'm 41 years old. My dad died when I was maybe 6 years old.
Wow.
And so I don't remember a lot of stuff about my dad. I remember that he loved doing push-ups. Yeah. He loved basketball. He loved gospel music.
Okay.
But when I hear in general people saying that their dad is here, but they may not have the best relationship, I'm like, that's still your dad, make it right. But then they're like, Nate, you don't know, what may have happened in that relationship. And so for you, what have been some ways that you have been able to just have tough conversations with dad?
Absolutely.
But then you would also encourage other people to, especially us, guys, to have the same conversation.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for that because, it hasn't always been sunrises and green grass in the relationship. There were times where it was rough when I was younger, and even now as an adult. I remember being younger, there were times during middle school where I actually had to step away from him and kind of just grow into that. And yes, being in middle school, you're only, 6th to 8th grade. So for me, being that young, I even knew at that moment, I didn't want that. I wanted, if you were going to be in my life, I wanted you fully in my life. I didn't want the in and out. Which is what at that moment was happening. And so for me, it was taking that fully step of understanding that's not what I want and actually working on that and actually going through that. And so there were those couple of years where communication was limited. And again, it was me growing in my own self, understanding my role, understanding the role of fatherhood and what a father really is and what their role and duties and responsibilities are. And so for me, having those hard conversations, even with him during that time, and then also even a couple of years ago as an adult, letting him know how I felt, but also how that made me feel, how that impacted me. Not just you walked out and made me sad, I was hurt, all this, but the impact of that. As you said, the disinvestments, not being able to see my dad in the crowd when I wanted him there, at certain events, at certain workshops, at certain ceremonies where I was getting awarded, but to only see my mom and my family on my mom's side, that was hurtful, that was painful. And then to actually have him to understand and know that, and again, you're proud of me for some of my accomplishments, but I want you to understand, most of these accomplishments you did not participate in. Sure. So I appreciate your congratulations, your sentiments, but really also helping you to understand that this was made possible through God and my mom's side.
Let me ask you this, for those that may not even understand what that is for a black man, right? Let's go to the Markayle that's the mentor. When you see young kids in school who just have grandma, who just have auntie, they may not have mom, but then you can think of your childhood. What is that? How does that impact the child from your personal standpoint, but also as you see this generation like a repeated cycle?
Absolutely. Being a former teacher and a current mentor of black youth within the city of Chicago, I definitely see the impact of that missing link. And it shows in every area of our children, from the way they talk with adults, to the way they talk to women, to the way they handle themselves, to the way they handle other men and talk to other men.
Their own confidence.
Absolutely.
Our confidence as a man. If we, and I don't want to use that as a crutch, because there's that argument that, you keep saying because your dad is not around and that, but it does have some sort of effect. If you don't have that example or role model. Right.
I'm going to give you a prime example. Me living in the household with just my mom. There were times where I was uncomfortable to talk to my mom about my girlfriends, about situations that I was going through with my females. Again, no disrespect to my mom. It was no love lost. It was, Mom, you're going to tell me certain things from a mother and a woman perspective. I need a man. I need my father. I need somebody who can tell me, yeah, son, I've been through that. I've dealt with that. This is how you go through that.
Yeah.
So yes, to your point, right, people try to use that as a crutch, but it's not a crutch. It's really...
it's a lived experience,
right? It is. It actually really is. And to that point, most people who grow up in that type of field and lifestyle, they have different goals. So for me, that's why my goal is to be married, to have my children with one woman, to have all of my children together, again, because what I was lacking of in my growing up. So for me, right, when I hear people say, oh, it's just because his dad wasn't around, yeah, but you also need to understand and hear the impact of why he's acting the way he is, or why certain things are being the way they are because of that missing link, because of that.
Say that again. Say that again. You said you also need to hear and understand.
Hear and understand.
Give dad an opportunity to speak to.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's rich.
And so for me, it was that, allowing my father to give his perspective. Because again, he has his own life. Hearing his childhood trauma, hearing that he wasn't raised by his biological mom and had to be raised by his great-grandmother. All of these things do play a part in people's lives. So again, to your point, it's a lived experience. Yeah. It's who we are.
Before we close the chapter, in discussions about dad and that father figure, what's one piece of advice you would give people, you give the folks that tune into your podcast about having a conversation with dad or protecting their own peace and deciding, hey, I ain't gonna keep letting you do me this type of way. What advice would you give people?
Definitely have that inner peace within yourself to find out that this is not what you want, and actually have those hard conversations that might be difficult, and actually just dealing with it, praying to God, and sitting within yourself, and dealing with it, writing down and talking about all of your feelings, and then sharing it with whomever you need to share that with. But also, to that point, because there was a void or a missing link, I'm thankful to my mom and other people in my life that were able to position me to other male models and male role examples in my life, such as my pastors and teachers and uncles and cousins who actually helped mentor me and actually bring me up in the right way, and find some of those missing links and some of those missing feelings and emotions that I was dealing with. I was able to lean into other mentors and other male role models within my life. So definitely find a male role model that you find that you could talk to, that you find relatable, that you find confidential, and talk to them. Talk to them about what you're dealing with. Ask them for their help, ask them for their support, and watch that relationship grow, and watch it impact you in a positive way.
Wow. I think most people, Markayle, they probably would look at you from the outside, looking in without knowing your full story. 26 years old, they would say, well, damn, this dude, you've gone to college and graduated from the west side of Chicago. You've worked for the city. You've taught. You've got your own podcast. But you still went through stuff. What would you say has been that thing that continues to push you, or that has really shaped you? Like, how were you able to push through those days when, your dad wasn't always there, or where mom just didn't have the answer, or when, you wanted to be a news reporter in Chicago during the damn pandemic and you couldn't get an internship? Like, how? Because I understand ambition, but certain times you can just get stuck, and it can be like, so like, what is Markayle's secret to keep going at 26 damn years old?
Yes. Definitely a good point, because to your point, a lot of people don't see that. They don't see the tears. They don't see the frustration. They don't see the long nights, the early mornings. But for me, Jeremiah 29:11 and Psalm 121, those two scriptures have kept me. My faith have kept me. Me leaning into God, me knowing who God is, have kept me through all those tough times. When I think about, going away for college, and a week after going away, my maternal grandmother passing, it was hard.
Tell me about Miss Ruth Davis.
Yes, Miss Ruth Davis.
Tell me about Granny. What was she like?
She was everything to me. That was my rock. She is my maternal grandmother, a mother of 7, grandmother of a lot that I can't count right now.
Okay.
But I love my grandmother. She was everything to me. When I was born with a birth defect. It was called a cleft palate. So the bottom of my chin wasn't all the way formed. And that's due to me being in a womb, keeping my hands on my chin while in my mom's womb. So the bottom of my chin wasn't formed. And it also resulted also in a roof in the top of my mouth, a hole in the roof of my mouth, I'm sorry. And so I needed surgery. I needed for the hole to be closed. I needed for my chin to be reformed and regrouped. And so it was a long, rough 4 or 5 first years of my life. But my grandmother was very instrumental in those stages, helping my mom, taking me to doctor's appointments, taking me to speech therapy, which is where me and my grandmother really bonded. I actually had to take speech classes. The doctors told my mom and my grandmother that I wouldn't be able to talk. But thank God, again, to that faith part, those scriptures holding me up, knowing who God is. Here I am today having my own podcast, wanting to be in journalism, talking with young people, talking with people throughout the city and state of Chicago and Illinois. So my grandmother was everything. And again, she passed away a week after I went to school. Western was my only Illinois school that I applied to. I was so focused on going away. I had applied and got accepted to Hampton, Howard, Morehouse, and Clark, Atlanta. Definitely wanted to go either to D.C. or Atlanta, HBCU.
You got accepted to all of those?
All 4 of those, yep.
Yes. Wait, name them again?
Hampton, Howard, Clark, Atlanta, and Morehouse.
Wow.
Yes.
And you ended up going to?
Western Illinois University. Yep, and so part of that was my grandmother. Yep, I really...
What, why? But with money?
It was money.
Oh, so did they offer you a scholarship?
Western offered me the most. So I actually went there on a full ride, didn't have to take out any loans.
Okay,
other than the loans that I personally took out on my own, again.
Right.
A lesson for you, do not do that.
Do not take those loans out for some
anything.
beer or whatever you're doing. Okay.
Or shoes or whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay. Wow.
But yes, and so for me, it was understanding that the financial part, but then also, yes, I didn't want to go away too far and not be able to get back if anything tragically was to happen. And then again, unfortunately, my grandmother did pass. I was able to get back quickly. I was able to stay kind of that week as well, leading up to the funeral and then a couple of days after. But I will say it was hard. I didn't want to go back to school. I was really hard on I'm done. I'm going to just stay here, work with the family, be with you all. But my uncle, her son, told me, nope, you got to go back. Yeah. You got to go back. My mom won't want this. Your grandma won't want this. So you got to go back. And that statement pushed me through all 4 years. I'm like, my grandma would not want that. I got to push through. I got to push through. And so to your question about pushing through things, even in college, pushed through 2 car crashes. One was near fatal, had to learn how to walk again, had a neck brace, had to go to physical therapy. So again, to your point of we see what the glamour is, but we don't see the other hard times that have been endured to get to where I am today. Yes.
So even now, what helps you be encouraged more to achieve those ambitions? Are you one of those? Do you in addition to the prayer, because we all talk about prayer, but we also got to talk about the how, because we can pray, but if you don't know how to put together some action steps and have mentors or somebody to help guide you, then it's just a lot of talking. So what are there times where you've had vision boards? What I guess I'm trying to ask, what is that thing that really has kind of led you to that dream job, and what pushes you there every single day? What do you do to continue to work toward that?
I will say mentors. I have had a cloud of mentors since elementary school, since legacy years. White, black men, women, people who work as business owners, people who work in C-suite levels, people who are in government. I've had mentors who have helped me to push to see the vision and see the goals in me. I've had teachers in elementary school to tell me and my mom, I see something in him. Yeah, he's a busybody. Yeah, he's everywhere right now. Yeah, we can't get him to sit down. Yeah, we have to tell him to go drop something off to a teacher. But that's because he's a leader. We see something in him. Keep pushing with him. Keep working with him. So teachers and mentors, to name a few, Miss LaDonna Turner, Miss Tavita Cook, Miss LaTanya Pleasant, teachers at Legacy that pushed me, that saw me and saw visions within me, Mr. Dimitri Hepburn, Mr. Troy Brown, men and women who saw potential within me and saw that if we stick with him, it's something greater in him. Looking at high school and Lincoln Unlimited Scholars, looking at Al Pacino Hogue and Jawan Pollard and Tiffany McQueen, Peter Giangreco, Mark Giangreco, people who are in spaces that have helped me, that have shown me the ropes, that have taken me to their jobs, that have taken me to their families' houses, that have shown me different things that I haven't usually been seeing. And so for me, hearing one of my mentors tell me that representation matters and actually living that is living proof. And so for me, that's kind of my main push, giving back, because so many people have poured into me since Legacy, since I was 8. I want to pour into people. I want to be that mentor. I want to be that father figure, that brother figure to people and to young people here in the city of Chicago.
I love that. I'm trying not to sneeze. I feel a sneeze coming on, but on the podcast, that's okay. You can sneeze. Let it out. Last couple of questions, I promise. Dream job.
Yes.
So, what does that look like for you?
Whew.
What's the dream job? You wanted to be a news reporter.
I wanted to be a news reporter. COVID halted that, canceled those plans.
That's all right.
Which led me into teaching and actually politics, which were other passions of mine, which is my dream job, to be in politics, to be an elected official.
So what, like city council, alderman?
My goal is to start within city.
Okay.
I'm looking at city council and or alderman, really working here in the city of Chicago, and specifically on the west side of North Lawndale, to build programs and initiatives and policies in place for our youth and for our vulnerable generations and communities within our areas.
I love that.
Yes.
Last but not least, momentum with Markayle.
Yes.
This is the end of season 1.
Absolutely.
I tuned into a couple of the shows, man. I loved how you really just provide a platform for folks to just talk about some real stuff.
Absolutely.
Things that impact all of us, and but it also you learn resources. And so, what was the best part of season 1 for you?
Wow.
Like, what was your? Can you think of a funny moment that happened, like behind the scenes? The behind the scenes stuff is sometimes what's really funny.
So, I will say all of my guests were either mentors or mentees or friends or colleagues of mine. So definitely appreciate all of them for coming out. Also you as my mentor. Thank you as guest and host. One funny thing behind the scenes.
Something funny happened behind the scenes, or a topic that got really intense, or one memorable moment from this season. Memorable
moment was I had a episode with 3 young black entrepreneurs, all black men here in the city of Chicago, different industries, all business owners, and one of them is really focused in on like politics and policy, and he met President Barack Obama when he was a senator at the time. And on the podcast during the episode, when he mentioned that was fun for him, instead of going out to the movies, the other guests were like, really? Because it caught them off guard that you find seeing Obama as fun. We see going outside, kicking it with our girls, kicking it at the movies is fun. Yeah. But again, to see and to have young people all around the same age to sit and hear their different stories, it was eye-opening to see that, right, we all are different, but it was eye-opening to see the other guests like, Wow, I like that. Right, you're a little different, but I like your story. I like who you are. I like that you are who you are. Absolutely.
Then lastly, what's ahead? What's ahead? What are you gonna do different in season 2?
Yes.
Like, are there some different topics you wanna approach? Different type of guests. What's really the goal here that you want all of your viewers to kind of hone in on?
So yeah, season 2 definitely higher guests, more prestigious guests, looking for some city officials and state officials and local politicians to come and join us. We'll also be diving into some more topics that, again, as you said, affect all of us. Currently, we're going to talk about our current political climate and how that's affecting us. And how voting is important. We talk about, I don't want to vote, or I'm not voting, or their agenda don't affect me. But everybody's agenda, president, governor, mayor, alderman, it affects us. It affects our day-to-day lives. So definitely be talking about politics. Also, we'll keep the youth part going. Definitely want to give youth the opportunity, space to speak their voices and speak their minds. We'll also be looking at hospital and healthcare. We'll be looking at the importance of healthcare. And then we'll also be looking at mental health and taking care of ourselves and our bodies holistically, spiritually, and mentally, and also physically. So we'll be looking to have some faith leaders on, some political leaders, some more community leaders, looking to have also some sports leaders as well, talking about the importance and impact of sports on our bodies and black men and black people. So definitely looking forward to season 2 and definitely excited for the guests and the topics to come.
Well, man, I appreciate the opportunity to sit with you and learn from you. You reminded me of so many things that I think all of us can remember. The piece on mentorship, I think is big. Like we all may not have the examples growing up, but I always believe you have not because you ask not.
Absolutely.
And so when you are not afraid to just say, "Hey, show me the ropes."
Yep.
Do you mind if I shadow you? Even at 40 years old, I'm still trying to shadow people and learn from them. The conversations about dad, having those tough conversations, but lending your ear to hear and understand what dad is saying, but protecting your heart.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Knowing, at a certain point, you're not going to keep playing in my face.
Right.
We got to have those conversations as well, too. But then just, continuing to climb to no matter what happens to you in life, just know that it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
So, man, I'm proud of you, man. This is dope.
Maybe
I can come back for season 2.
Yes, hopefully you can be one of the guests.
Man,
absolutely,
this is great.
absolutely. Appreciate you, Nate.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a wrap for season 1 of Momentum with Markayle, where conversations and momentum is sparked. Stay tuned for season 2. Again, like, subscribe, and comment here, and share this video. Until next time, season 2, 2026. Peace, peace.